Hello folks, Mr. Reese here, and the purpose of this video is to help people set up category weights. Typically this is something that we do once per semester, and it's real easy to forget how to set this up. Now, many of you are returning and you've already got different categories created. However, if you're new or coming to us from a different district, you would need to create the categories that you're going to use in your class. To create a category, you just click Create, click Category, and then you have to come up with the name of the category. How about Book Report? I'm showing my age. The color, you can pick a color, and I've created a category called Book Report, and I hit Save. And you'll see how this makes sense here in a few moments. Now, let's go ahead and work at setting up our category weights. To do that, you're going to go to Settings, and then you're going to go to Traditional Grade Calculations. When I go there, I see a list of my classes, and my first class is currently set to total points, but we don't want total points, we want category weights. To change this, I'm going to look at Q1, I'm going to go over to the pencil, and I see that I'm still set on total points. To change it, I'm going to click this drop down box here. I'm going to put it on category weighting. Now in the past, I've had a category weight that was called classwork. And typically, most teachers have 4, 5, 3 different types of categories. So I'm going to add some spaces to make more categories. And I'm going to make sure that they're all set on category weighting. And what this has done is it's pulled up the names that I've used in the past. Now, it doesn't look like we're going to have a whole lot of in-class work between now and January. So maybe I want to change that to one of these other categories. And here you can see the book report that I created at the beginning of this video. This semester, I think personally that I'm going to have homework, tests, and quizzes. Now, as far as the weights of these different categories, I can adjust that by changing the numbers in this column. And currently, they're all equal. Maybe I want my tests to be 40%. Maybe I want my quizzes to be 30%. And my homework to be 30%. Whatever you come up with, the weight has to equal 100. Now, many departments have specified weights and names for their categories. So make sure you check with your department chair and see if there's a plan in place where everybody that teaches a certain subject is using the same weights and names. So now I'm going to click Save. And so my quarter one is fixed. I got quiz, test, and homework. I'm going to need to do the same thing for quarter two. Click on the pencil. Let me go ahead and get 2 more spots created. I have them set on category weights. And I got quiz, test, and homework. And I'm going to set my weights just like I did before. And I'll hit Save. Now, one last thing I want to remind folks about. Later on, when you're creating assignments, when you create an assignment, it's got to use one of these attributes. If you create an assignment that doesn't have one of these names associated with it, then the grades will not count. And I've seen that happen before with several people. So my quarter 1 and quarter 2 are finished. For E1, which this is the final exam, I also like to put this on category weights. I like to change that to a test, and I hit save. Now you'll notice that there's something called term weighting here, which I'm not able to edit. It's because the county has set the term weights. And the term weights work like this for a semester class. 40% of quarter 1, 40% of quarter 2, and 20% of the final exam are combined to form F1, which is the final grade for the class. Now, if you're like me, you probably use the same weights and numbers for all your classes. Now, I could go into each individual class and do what I just did, but there is an easy way to copy what we have in this class to my other classes. And to do that, I'm going to click on the gear icon, and I'm going to hit Copy Traditional Grade Calculations. And I'm going to copy terms to another class. It's got my school year. The first class in the list is the one I just configured, so I'm going to click that. So we're going to copy from these settings to my semester 1, and here I can select the other 2 classes that I have during the first semester. So once that's highlighted, I click Validate, and I hit Copy, and now I can see that my 3rd and 4th block classes are now set up just like my 2nd block. And I often like to just randomly select one of those other classes, and I'll click on, let's say, quarter 2 of 4th block. And when I look at that, I can verify that, yes, this is set up just like I did with my 2nd block. So I know I'm good with my quarter 1 stuff. Now, some people wait until January and set up quarter 2 then, but you can set up quarter 2 now as well. And to do that, you would find your first semester 2 class and set it up just like we did earlier. And then you would use the gear icon and copy it to your semester 2 classes. Unfortunately, we've not had success with copying things from semester 1 classes to semester 2 classes because the program doesn't like the fact that this is called quarter 1 and in 2nd semester this is called quarter 3. So you got to do them separately. So folks, that's about it as far as what you need to do to set up category weights. You can email me at reesew@gcsnc.com if you have questions. I also am available to do this in person if you'll shoot me an email. And today, for the first time, I helped somebody do it through a Microsoft Teams meeting, and that worked out pretty good. Hopefully you can follow the video and get it done. One last thing before I sign off is, now that I got these category weights in there, what about actually adding an assignment? Well, I'm on A+ grading and I'm on score sheet. If I want to create an assignment, I click Create. I click Assignment. Might call this dial caliper reading. Now notice I've got a whole lot of categories here. I've got to pick a category that I set up when I was doing my category weights. Homework was one of those that I used. For points, you can do points or percent. I like to do percent, and I like to do it out of 100 points. So, the other cool thing is if you use the same assignment in more than one class, you can click those other classes and that assignment will propagate to those other classes. So that's a little time saver right there. Once you've got your classes selected, named, points the way you want them, the correct category, just hit save and close and you're good to go. So folks, I hope this has been helpful. If you have problems, reach out to me and I'll help you get this done. And I hope you have a wonderful first semester here at the wonderful Ben L. Smith High School. Thank you and have a good evening.